I got into music was pretty much my whole like family was into music. Well, mainly my dad's side. He was actually in a band like way back then. Never really necessarily like forced it on me. Like he just like, hey, it's there. If you want to pick it up, go ahead and pick it up. And I started playing like around at the age of like maybe 10 or 11. I pick up the acoustic and I was just playing around with it. I didn't really know how to play with it. Didn't really know how to make notes. My idiot self decided to like put my fingers underneath the string instead of like putting it on the fret. But eventually I learned how to do it. The first ever like thing that I ever learned was Ozzy Osbourne. The first thing I ever learned was Crazy Train from Ozzy Osbourne, and it was just the bass line for it. And then from there, I just like learned everything on my own, learned everything by ear. Never really got lessons or anything like that, so I know no theory at all, and the rest has been history. She was very supportive. She never really wasn't against it. All she said like, "Oh, just be careful, don't do stupid shit or whatever," and blah blah blah. And she was very, like I said, very supportive. I wasn't really necessarily in a band when she was around. Unfortunately, like when I started a band, she passed away. So she passed away around like at the age, or when I was probably maybe 11 or 12. So literally right around the time where I started to play guitar. So she never really seen me progress throughout the years. So she never really seen me like on my musical path. And she was, like I said, like even like back then when she was with my dad, when he was in the band, like she was very supportive. Like she would like help out with the merch or just like put out his music out there and everything. So even if she was here today, I know for a fact she would like just go do everything for us. With my mom, she was sick since practically she was a little kid, like probably like at the age of 9, and she had diabetes. And then throughout the years, like all the doctors that she went to see, they said that she wouldn't have lived up to see like 15 or like up to 20 or whatever, and she would never have kids or whatever. And she eventually met my dad, and then they tried once or twice, and then unfortunately they lost the babies. And then they eventually found this doctor named Dr. Starr. And she says, like, well, if you listen to everything that I say and everything that you need to do, you will have a baby. And lo and behold, here I am. But around when I was, like I said, around like 10 or 11, things were starting to decline. But before that, she had surgery for, I forgot what it was. It was for her pancreas. And she got a new one, and then she got cured out of her diabetes. And she didn't have to worry about anything. And like the few months went by after the surgery, everything was going well. She didn't have to check for sugar or nothing. Like she was just like happy and everything. And then again, a few months later, that's when things were starting to decline. Like her pancreas was starting to fail, and like things were just getting worse and worse. And then doctors just told, like, honestly, like you maybe might have maybe a few months, if not maybe a few weeks. So the days before, or I would say maybe a week before she passed, she invited everybody, like the whole family. And she didn't say anything about like what was going on. She told me maybe a week after she got from the hospital, after what they told her about like she doesn't have much time. And at first I didn't take it in as much. It didn't really process in my brain. But then once like she invited everyone for a big family dinner, that's when it really kicked in. It's like, man, like she's not going to be around, and I don't know what I'm going to do. And then once the day it happened when I was at school. And I was just like sitting around or whatever, and then the teacher came up to me. He's like, hey, you need to go to the office. I was like, oh no, am I in trouble? He's like, no, you just need to come to the office. And then I saw my Uncle Scott there, and then I saw him, and I was like wondering why he was there. And like he said, like, we need to go to the hospital. So we went to the hospital. I forgot which hospital it is, but we went there, and then I saw her just laying around, just dead. I was like, wow, this really happened. And all of us just crying, just like we were hoping like this is not really happening, but unfortunately It's just how life is. And from there on, like, she always used to tell me before she passes, like, always appreciate what you have and the people you have around you, because you never know, they might be gone. So music helped me out a lot. If I didn't have music, I would be in a probably a way darker path. Cause there's times like I just didn't want to be here anymore. There's times like I just didn't want to do anything. I just feel like shit. But then when I listen to like some music, like I listen to some heavy music, but then again I listen to some other music that might help me. But it just helped me out a lot and made me think of like if I did do what I thought I was gonna do, it would hurt other people, and I didn't want to do that. So again, music pretty much stopped me from doing that in the first place, and it just helped me progress and move on, and just made me want to make my own music and just put myself out there and just progress. Number one thing is don't hold it in. Talk to people about it. As many people, talk to all your friends about it. And the worst thing, like I said, the worst thing you can do is just hold it in, because you never know what could trigger something. Then you just explode and just do something that you'll deeply regret. Again, just do whatever you like to do, like any hobbies, like if you like to play baseball, or if you want to play music, or just do whatever that'll let it, the anger and the sadness out. And again, just talk to people. Talk to as many people as you want, your friends, your family, and everything. And you never know, things might change for them too, and it might inspire them to do something or whatever. But again, I just say talk, or just do whatever you like to do to release it. Well, Lullaby was actually just what I like to call riff salad. It's just a bunch of riffs that I made in the course of like maybe like a few weeks or a few months or whatever, and I show it to the guys, and they're like, "Yeah, this sounds really good." And my intentions wasn't really to write about for my mom. It was actually about like fighting. But once Mike, or once Ace showed me the lyrics of the songs for Lullaby, it just fit in like just perfectly, and I was like, you know what? In a way, it kind of works things together, and like the stars like all align and everything, and it just worked out perfectly.